Not really. I mean, no, 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 no. It's true that I love the name Synovus, but in today's conversation, I want to speak to you about something more important. I want to speak to you about a massive business loan from Synovus Bank. $30 million dollars maximum loan amount, EIN only. Low fair credit, okay? No personal guarantee. I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation because you know what? You're going to love it. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about a massive business loan from Synovus Bank. $30 million dollars maximum loan amount, EIN only. This loan is open to borrowers with low or fair credit. There is no personal guarantee. And one thing I want to say before we even start is that we have no association, no relationship with Synovus Bank. They're not paying us any penny to do this show, okay? This show is purely instructional and educational. Let's talk about the loan facts here. And when you talk about Synovus Bank, you have a constellation of credit products, the most important of which are business loans, lines of credits, and international trade letters of credit. I'm not going to dig a little deeper into the international trade letters of credit. This will be the topic for another show. But for the business loan, the amount will oscillate between $10,000 and $30 million. Think about that, folks. You heard it right. $30 million. The APR will fluctuate between 8.99% and 29.99%. There are fees associated with this loan, but they're variable. And the term here, 1 to 8 years. And the time to funding, 2 to 5 days. And there are no extra conditions. One thing I want to say here is that when you think about Synovus Bank, you think about a solid institution, okay? This is a solid institution. This is a company that is publicly traded, so they are solid, they are legit. And one thing I also want to say here is that in addition to the business loan, they have something called a business flex line of credit. So if you don't qualify for the loan amount of up to $30 million, you might qualify for the business flex line of credit. With this line of credit, you can receive up to $250,000 in financing through either their flexible business line of credit or their static business line of credit. And one thing you want to do is you can actually contact the customer service rep if you want to have more information. You can also, and in any way, if you're close to a Synovus Bank branch, we would strongly encourage you to go there and talk to someone. In addition to that, if you want to increase, and I will be speaking about this later in the show, there are things you can do to improve your odds of approval of this loan. Now, if you have bad credit, you might not qualify for 30 million, but you could probably qualify for $1 million or $2 million. And this is not bad, right? Now let's talk about this lender. When we talk about Synovus Bank, this is not a name you hear a lot in the news, but this is a solid institution, folks. Well run, well managed. Their loan products are attractive, appealing. The rates are reasonable. And folks, in this show, I'm talking to you about a massive business loan, EIN only business loan from Synovus Bank. Maximum loan amount, $30 million. Low credit, no credit, fair credit, all kinds of credit profiles are welcome on this loan application. So let's talk about Synovus here. This is a full service FDIC insured bank that is actually located. I mean, they are basically they're located in Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia, but they do serve the whole United States. Okay, and they have nearly 300 branches in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and South Carolina. But again, they are serving the whole United States, so you can still qualify even if you don't live or don't do business in those states. This is a well-established full-service financial company with loan and deposit products, investment services, financial planning, and wealth management. Okay, and they've been around for nearly 2 centuries, nearly one and a half, 150 years rather. Okay, and what are the pros and cons here? This Synovus Bank is a great fit for both branch and online banking, and they do offer a wide selection of checking accounts, business loan products, and CD terms. And the cons, the bank has branches in only 5 states. I said it before: Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And their ATM network is geographically limited to the southeastern United States. And you can, but the bottom line here is what? You don't need to live in those 5 states to qualify for a business loan from Synovus Bank, because they do fund businesses all over the United States. If you need more information, just contact them. They have a number: 1-888-SYNOVUS, 1-888-796-6887. Okay, and so after evaluating, this lender on tens of criteria, including loan variety, loan amount, generosity, cost, reputation, and customer service, we assign the company a score of 8.5 over 10. And one thing I want to say also is that Synovus Bank, they have a system in place where they will assign a loan specialist to you. So the loan specialist will work with you to see your business's financials, your business's fundamentals, and that specialist will advise you as to the best way to package your loan application. Okay, you want to consider this loan specialist, as your best rep, as your best expert for this loan application. And this is really good. Not a lot of big banks do that, but Synovus Bank does do it. So this is fantastic. I want to talk to you now about loan eligibility. What are the eligibility criteria? Folks, in this show, I'm talking to you about a very generous, a humongous business loan from Synovus Bank. Maximum loan amount, $30 million. You heard it right. $30 million. Okay, so what are the eligibility criteria here? Synovus Bank wants you to have a few things. They look at your credit score. Even though I said that low and fair credit borrowers are allowed, they will still check your credit score. So you need to be aware of that. This is an EIN only business loan, but to kind of look, you need to package the application in such a way that Synovus Bank can only look at your business credit as opposed to your personal credit. We have actually covered this topic on another show, so you might want to double check our catalog of videos to have more information about that. But what I want to say here is that you want to maintain a good credit score at the personal level, but also at the business level. Okay, they pay attention to annual revenue. Now, Synovus Bank has not published I would say revenue thresholds or revenue requirements, the minimum, but based on our analysis and based on our review of transactions that they have approved in the last 5 years, we have seen that they will consider your application if you have a minimum of $10,000 in business revenue. That's not income, that's revenue. Okay, you need to have an updated business plan if you want to increase your chances of approval. You need to have a business plan. We have covered at length different ways to have a business plan for loan purposes, right? Whether you can do it yourself, if you have a knack for financial presentation or a knack for writing financial documentation, you can outsource the task to professionals, either online or locally. You can even hire companies such as Wise Business Plans, which will actually write the business plan for you if you have the budget, of course, for it. And in some cases, Synovus Bank will want to see things like your driver's license, any commercial leases, your business licenses and permits, your personal and business tax returns, business insurance plans, payroll records, incorporation documents, and your current added financial obligations, among other things, of course. let's talk about the use of loan proceeds. Now, the loan specialists at Synovus Banks are very particular. They're very careful about what the money will be used for. Now, they don't have any restriction in terms of what you can use the money for or what you can't do it. You can't use it for. However, they pay attention to make sure that there is some kind of consistency in what the funds will be used for. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are in an industry that is actually declining. In other words, the industry is cyclical or seasonal, and from January through March or April, all companies in the sector don't make money. If you tell them that you are going to buy inventory during that time, Synovus Bank's loan specialists might look at this a little, they might be surprised, right? Because why would you want to finance inventory in a declining market? But if you use the money, for example, for expansion, for training, for other stuff, for marketing, or for expansion, for entry into another sector, they might approve it. Now, this is a hypothetical situation here, but you get the point. My point is that it has to be consistent. Based on our analysis, you can use the loans from Synovus Banks for a constellation of purposes, including expansion, renovation, vacant land, building purchases. Again, folks, I'm talking to you about a massive business loan from Synovus Banks, $30 million, EIN only, low fair credit, okay, no personal guarantee. With that amount, you can do a lot of things, including taking care of your startup costs, equipment and fixtures, for example, working capital. You can buy inventory with it. If you can use it as a seasonal line of credit, for example, or you can even use it to refinance debt, especially if you get a better loan, if you get a better APR rather from Synovus Bank. So this is the kind of thinking processes you need to engage in to know exactly whether or not getting a loan, a business loan from Synovus Bank, is the best bet for you at this particular moment. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you today about a very generous EIN only business loan from Synovus Bank. Low and fair credit applicants are welcome. There's no personal guarantee, no collateral. And in this section, I want to talk to you about the evidence needed. What kind of evidential matter should you provide to Synovus Bank for them to approve, for them to review your application and approve you for a loan for up to $30 million? You need a couple of things, okay? You need a certificate of good standing. You need a voided business check. If you plan things correctly, in other words, if you make sure that you focus on your EIN, they will want to have a 2-year balance sheet. In some cases, they might want to have a 3-year balance sheet, 2 or 3-year profit and loss statements, 2 or 3-year cash flow statements. In some cases, if the amount is very high, I'm talking 25 to 30 million, Synovus Bank might even require to have a statement of owner's equity. A lot of people don't talk about this, but this is very important for lenders because it tells them about the ownership of the company. It tells them about the equity movements within the financials of the company. And this is very important, especially when you pay attention to an account such as retained earnings, which tells the lender what kind of corporate equity is retained within the company. And so you have the kind of evidence they need. They want to have a clear idea of what the loan proceeds will be used for, what assets need to be purchased, and who are your suppliers, what other business debts you have, and who are your creditors, right? For Synovus Bank, this is important. What are the members of your management team? So they want to have things like business plan, business credit report, income tax returns, financial statements, accounts receivable and accounts payable, collateral if needed, and some legal documents, right? Business licenses and registrations, articles of incorporation or articles of organization, depending on the legal structure of your business, copies of contracts you have with any third parties, franchise agreements, commercial leases, and anything else that is applicable to your application, really. I want to talk to you now about how to apply. So, folks, again, in this show, I am talking to you today about a gigantic business loan with EIN only from Synovus Bank. The maximum loan amount, $30 million, low fair credit, okay, no personal guarantee, no collateral. And to apply for this loan, you have two ways to do this. You can either call them at 1-888 Synovus. I've already given you that number before, or you can visit a branch. In our review and based on our research, and we have researched this extensively, to improve your odds of approval, you want to establish a relationship with Synovus Bank beforehand, and you want to go to a branch if you can. If you don't live in the 5 states that I indicated earlier, you want to give them a call, but before, you need to establish a relationship. Now, they will never say this on their website that you need to be a member, not a member, you need to be a customer for them to approve you. But if you really want to get this loan, you want to start bringing some business to Synovus Bank. You want to have a savings account, checking accounts, either at the personal level or at the business level. You want to start doing business with them before applying for this loan. Okay, and with Synovus, if you want to, especially if you want to get a higher loan amount, you got to have a business checking account. Why? Because there is an auto pay. They might give you a discount if you link your business checking account to the payments of the loan. In other words, if you have auto pay, if you sign up for auto pay, whatever is offered, you might actually reduce your APR. So you got to have business checking accounts with them. And there are several types of business checking accounts that Synovus Bank offers. They have the Pro Business Checking account. They have the Preferred Business Checking account. They have the Business Interest Checking account. They have the Nonprofit Checking accounts. They have what they call the IOTA checking account. This is available only to segregated client funds. And they have also commercial analysis checking. In our view, the best for most people is the Preferred Business Checking. Now, if you are a sole proprietor, you might want to go for the Business Interest Checking. The only problem is if you want to qualify for this EIN only massive business loan from Synovus Bank, you need to incorporate. If you are a sole proprietorship, you're not going to qualify. You're not going to get this loan, period. Okay? So think about that. Now, let me talk to you before closing. Let me talk to you about how to qualify for it, how to actually improve your chances. Let me give you a few pro tips. All right. You want to contact. If you need more information, please contact Synovus. Okay. Contact Synovus, talk to someone. But there are a few, I would say, basic things you need to do if you want to increase your chances. First thing first, you want to keep your documents in order. So you want to talk to your accountant. If you have an accountant, you want to organize everything beforehand. I'm speaking about your financial, accounting, and tax records. Okay, and you need to constantly demonstrate enough money coming into your business. In other words, you want to demonstrate sufficient cash flow. Synovus Bank is going to look at that. Simply because this is an EIN only doesn't mean that they're not going to want to pay attention to everything else in your company. They're paying attention not only to your financials, but also to your bank statements, but also to the sector your business is in. Okay, so if you show them, for instance, that you are actually generating enough revenue, that's going to increase your chances of getting approved, especially if they see that the info you are presenting to them is being corroborated at the sector level. In other words, you are making money in a sector that is trending higher. So you have the best of both worlds if you think about it that way, right? And remember that with Synovus, you also need to determine if you qualify for a business loan. You might not qualify. This is why I always want to say that you want to give them a call if you're interested in this loan. You want to give them a call. You want to have a conversation with a live person so you know what's really going on. And the thing here is that even if you don't qualify for 30 million, as I said earlier, you might qualify for 1 or 2 million. You might qualify for $500,000. Whatever it is, whatever money you can get, grab it and use it to expand your business, and then repay it, and then apply it to get more. That's the gist of today's conversation when you really think about it. And another thing I want you to do also is that you want to constantly comparing small business lenders. Synovus Bank is a great bank, well run. They have great offers in terms of lending products, but if they don't have the right products for you, you might want to look elsewhere. And we have gazillions of shows about small business loans, whether you have bad credit, whether you are an established business, or whether you have fair credit, or whether you are a startup or a very, very young company. Just go check out those videos, right? All right, folks. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I was talking to you today about a massive business loan from Synovus Bank. $30 million loan limits, EIN only, low fair credit, okay, no personal guarantee. I gave you an overview of the situation, the loan facts, the lender at a glance, eligibility criteria, use of loan proceeds, evidence needed, how to apply, and I gave you a few pro tips. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.